Hello. Today we are going to discuss about the forced vibration in this session. And previously we have discussed about the free vibrations and free damped vibrations. And today's session we will be seeing forced vibrations or damped forced vibrations. Now in previous session we have studied about a free damped vibrations. Now coming to the what is free damp or free vibrations. The free vibrations of a system, the free vibrations of a system where a system once disturbed from its equilibrium position undergoes vibration because of its elastic properties. Now this will again come to rest depending upon the amount of damping present in the system, or it may be due to the external forces or due to the molecular forces within the body, that is internal frictions or external resisting force. But coming to the forced vibration, okay na, there is an impressed or external force acts on the system which keeps it vibrating. Okay na, regularly we the force will be acted upon the system, so it is called a forced vibrations. Whereas in a free vibrations, only it initially I will be applying a force and releasing it, and it will be vibrating. That is a free vibrations. But in forced vibrations, the forces are applied on the system in regular intervals or periodic intervals, like that. So hence forced vibration is defined as a vibration of the body under the influence of an external force. When an external force is acting, the body does not vibrate with its own natural frequency, but vibrates with frequency of applied external force. Now here, when in free vibration, when I apply a force and release it, it will be vibrating with its own natural frequency. But when forced external forces in forced vibrations, when forces are applied at regular intervals of time, then the system will vibrate with a frequency which is other than the its natural frequency. So coming to types of forced vibrations, now we can see in the IC engines, when when we start an engine by applying force on the kick rod, okay na? Now then the engine starts. When engine starts, we won't be applying again any kick force on the kick rod, okay na? That force whatever is applied is one thing. Now coming to the force exerted by explosion of the gases or fuel in the IC engine uh, gives the concept of these forced vibrations, where this combustion of the fuel at regular intervals in IC engines applies the force on the piston head. Okay, these forces can be considered the forced vibrations. Okay. Previously, we have seen regarding free vibrations in previous session. Now, what are the forcing functions? External force, what are the different types of forces? As external force is applied in forced vibrations, just like in IC engine, external force is what? Combustion of the fuel gases in the IC engines in a cylinder. what is the source for this force? Types of forces. Periodic forcing functions. Okay, in periodic forcing functions, we will be seeing harmonic forcing, non-harmonic forcing, impulse forcing functions. This is also called as which produces a transient vibrations. Example of rock explosion, gunfires, punching operations, or as said, applying force on the kick rod comes under a impulsive forcing functions by which I'll produce a transient vibration. Okay, when I apply force on the kick rod to start an engine, that force is a impulsive forcing functions which produce a transient vibrations which will be lasting for a small time and then it will be diminishing. Okay, just like we have seen in free vibrations where small x is equal to capital A e to the power of minus epsilon omega t sine of omega t plus phi, where e to the power of, in this equation, e to the power of minus epsilon minus zeta omega t, small x is equal to capital A e to the power of minus zeta omega t sine of omega t plus phi, where here this equation comes under transient vibration which will be for a small period of time initially, then it diminishes. Here e to the power of minus zeta omega t indicates, minus zeta indicates what? It is reducing. Just as in a logarithmic decrement also we will be seeing that the amplitude will be reducing. So this is the example of rock explosion, gunfires, punching operations, and force applied on a kick rod to start an engine are the examples of impulsive forcing functions. Next, random forcing functions. Okay. Our concentration will be on only harmonic forcing only. Okay, na? We'll be studying about the forced vibrations where the forces are applied harmonically, that is at regular intervals. Now, types of forced vibrations. Forced vibrations are of two types. That is, one is undamped forced vibration where damping is zero. No damping, no friction, external friction or internal friction is taken as a zero, that is C is zero. And other is damped forced vibration where damping is provided or damping is existing in the material or damping is done by the external forces. Okay, but undamped force vibrations that is when C is equal to zero, we practically won't come across. Okay. We will deal with damped forced vibrations only. Now, in that, when we take C is equal to zero, then it becomes undamped forced vibrations. Now, amplitude calculations are given more importance in forced vibrations. Okay, we will be finding out the amplitude due to these forced vibrations. That derivation part will be also there. Now, let us look into free body diagram of a damped forced vibration with harmonic forcing only. Our study, our discussion will be on harmonic forcing only. And initially damped forced vibrations only we will be discussing. Then we will be taking C is equal to zero and we will be discussing the characteristic of those vibrations. Initially, we will be taking damped forced vibration only. Now, when you see here this system where the mass is being attached to a spring, here a spring having spring K, Okay, K, and damping coefficient C. Okay, spring stiffness K and damping coefficient C, or dash part we are saying, and mass small m is there. And here the force applied, as we are saying that it is a forced vibration, the force applied is taken as F naught sine omega t. The force applied is taken as F naught sine omega t. You can observe here F naught sine omega t. Why not? Why F naught sine omega t? If you are taking an IC engine, when a explosion is taking place or combustion is taking place, the force is being given to the connecting rod. Okay. Now this connecting rod will be with an angle. Say make an angle some theta. Here omega t we are saying. Now this force F is making some angle, and when it is being resolved vertically, what happens? The same force F sine theta or here F sine omega t. Okay, so this vertical component F naught sine omega t, I will be observing. Okay, na? And we'll be checking for the amplitudes or magnification factor, transmissibility. All these things we will be observing when a force F naught sine omega t is being applied on the mass m. Why not F naught? F naught is the force on the connecting rod. Okay, na? But this connecting rod is making some angle, and when it is being resolved vertically, it is becoming F naught sine omega t. Due to this F naught sine omega t, there is a vibrations in the system vertically. Okay, na? Now checking out for the free body diagram. Now F naught sine omega t here is acting downwards, and this, when it is acting downwards, the spring will be pulling the mass m upwards. That is given by kx. K is the stiffness of the spring and x is the displacement, and C damping coefficient, and x dot, Cx dot is other force due to the dash part or the damper which is acting upwards, just like in a cylinder syringe, just like in a syringe, when I close the other side and pull the uh, uh, syringe outwards, then it will be again going to its position upwards only. That is nothing but Cx dot. And other one is mx double dot. This mx double dot is a inertia force we have also discussed in the previous session. Now what are the forces acting on the system? Kx, that is the spring force, Cx dot, that is dash part or damping force, mx double dot, which is a inertia force, and external force acting in opposite direction, F naught sine omega t. Okay, na? Where t is the position of is the time, and F naught is the static force. F naught is the static force. F naught sine omega t is the external periodic force, considering it to be a harmonic or sinusoidal force function F naught sine omega t. Now this is a free body diagram. According to D'Alembert's principle, the sum of forces and inertia is equal to 0. Sum of forces acting on the system plus inertia forces is equal to 0. What are the forces acting? Kx is the force, Cx dot is the force, and inertia force is mx double dot, and external force is F naught sine omega t. Now according to see here, you can see here, according to D'Alembert's principle, The algebraic sum of all the forces, including the external force acting on the system, is 0. So, what are the force? Mx double dot plus Cx dot due to damping, Kx due to the spring, and applied force F naught sin omega t. As it is acting downwards, I have taken it as a minus sign. So, sum of these forces should be equal to 0. Now, this can be again written as Mx double dot plus Cx dot plus Kx. This is the force due to the mass or inertia force, and this is the force due to the damper, and this is the force due to the spring, which is equal to F naught sine omega t. And this is known as a characteristic or governing equation for damped forced vibration. The above equation is known as the governing equation. This is a linear non-homogeneous second order differential equation. Okay, now this equation may be solved by any of the two methods. We will be following with the graphical method. Okay, now to solve this equation, above one is a linear non-homogeneous second order equation. Now I am going to solve that equation to get the x value or x dot value, x double dot value or maximum amplitude A. Okay, I am going to solve it by graphical method. Two methods are there: graphical method, differential equation method. Now coming to the graphical method, the complete solution of such differential equation consists of two parts. Usually we will be getting two parts. They are the complementary function and particular integral. Two functions will be getting. The complete solution of such differential equation consists of two parts. They are complementary function. You should remember one. Second one is particular integral. Complementary function, here you can see complementary function and particular integral. So the solution may be written as the displacement x, okay, is given by complementary functions plus a particular integral. Now I have to get what is this complementary function. Okay, complementary function is also a displacement due to initial applied force on the mass m by displacing it by some distance. Okay, now this will be coming to rest with the time. This is a complementary function. Now coming to this particular integral, this particular integral is due to the external periodical forces applied on the system. This particular integral is a solution where x is equal to Cf plus Pi, where Pi is due to the external periodical force applied on the system, where complementary function is due to initial displacement of the system. That is, when I am starting a engine, I will be applying force on the kick rod on a bike. In a bike, I will be applying force on the kick rod. This applied force on the kick rod, this force will diminishes. Okay, with some time. So it is a complementary functions. Okay, that force is considered to be a complementary functions. Whereas this will be for seeing one time only. Complementary function is only for one time. But coming to particular integral, when I have applied a force on the kick rod, engine starts and it continues to be in on position only. That is due to the combustion taking place in the engine due to the fuel. Okay, now I will be checking out for the this x displacement due to this particular integral, which is caused due to the periodically applied force on the system, which is given by xc plus xp. This point is to be understood. Now complementary functions. As we said, I will be applying initially the or displacing the system initially. That is by applying a force on the kick rod or displacing the kick rod. So, and again I am not applying any force on it. I am leaving it. So it will be vibrating continuously, and that there is again no other periodic force on it. Initially force is only applied, no other periodic force is being applied on it. So it is taken as 0 here. And that equation is again written as complementary function is written as mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to 0. This is free vibration we have seen in the previous session. For this we have also got the x value, displacement value as capital X is equal to e to the power of minus zeta omega n t sine omega dt plus phi. In the previous session, we have seen the displacement is given by due to free vibrations. Okay, na? The displacement is given by small x is equal to capital X e to the power of zeta omega n t sine omega d t plus phi, where omega n is natural frequency of the system, omega d is the frequency due to the attachment of the damper or due to the friction. So this is the complementary function. As we know, it will be reducing after some duration of time. It will be diminishing. We can't see that because there is no continuous force or periodic force here applied. It is 0. The periodic force applied is 0, so it will be certainly coming to the rest position, and that can be also seen through equation minus zeta omega nt. Minus indicates it reduces. Now coming to particular integral. Now in this particular integral, okay, na, this is due to the external force applied F naught sine omega t, which is considered to be a simple harmonic motion. Now, for this applied force F naught sine omega t, the displacement of the mass m, the system also executes simple harmonic motion. Therefore, the solution comes as that due to this external force, the displacement is taken as xp, which is also considered as x is equal to maximum amplitude A sine omega t minus phi. Xp is equal to capital A sine omega t minus phi, where capital E is the amplitude of the vibration system. Phi is the angle by which displacement vector lags the force vector. Displacement vector lags the force vector. What we understand by this statement, phi is equal to angle by which the displacement vector lags the force vector. That is, the force is acting in one direction and the displacement is in other direction, and the angle between these two forces and the displacement is given by phi. This indicates the same, the angle between the direction, force direction, and also the displacement direction are not in the same, are not linear. They are making some angle with them. That is given by phi. X is the displacement at any instant, which is given by x is equal to capital A sine omega t minus phi. Now our concentration, observe here, will be on capital A. Now what is the A value? We will be checking. Okay. Now coming to, as we know the equation mx double dot plus k x plus c x dot is equal to f naught sine omega t Okay. Now, what is x value we have taken as capital A sin omega t minus phi, for which capital A is to be found again. We will be seeing further in coming discussion. And x dot is given by differentiating x. I will be getting x dot, which is the velocity. After deriving what I get, a omega sine pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi. Generally, a omega cos omega t minus phi. In the terms of sine only, I am writing a omega sine pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi. Similarly, acceleration x double dot is given by minus a omega square sine omega t minus phi. Okay, these are the velocity and acceleration. We can observe in the acceleration minus is shown, but in velocity it is not shown as minus, it is positive sign only taken. And in displacement here xp also given as a positive only. Capital A sin omega t minus phi is displacement, velocity is a omega sin pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi, and acceleration minus a omega square sin omega t minus phi. Now, checking out the forces due to these are intended forces. F value I have to get this F value. I will be or resultant forces we say F value. What will be this F value? Or impedant forces we will be checking. Now here check for this. It is what? The spring force, which is given by what? Ka or Kx. Spring force Kx. Okay. Now or Ka. Now check for this is a displacement. Ka is due to the displacement of having amplitude A, and the force is the displacement A into spring stiffness Ka. Now coming to damping force. Damping force is given by C omega A. C omega A. And inertia force. See here you can check out. You can check out pi by 2 is there. That is, it is making 90 degrees with this velocity is making 90 degrees with the displacement. So this is the displacement. This one is the displacement. Okay, na? Due to the displacement. And due to the velocity, the force is this one, which is making 90 degrees, pi by 2. The damping force and spring force are making 90 degrees with each other. That can be seen by observing the two equations. Check A sin omega t minus phi. Here A omega sin pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi. So what is the difference between these two is pi by 2. The phase difference between the force due to displacement and force due to velocity is pi by 2. So they are making 90 degrees with each other, and damping force is always perpendicular to the spring force. This point is to be remembered, and again we will be getting this point discussion in transmissibility. We will be discussing the same in the transmissibility. So you observe once again the force due to the displacement and force due to the velocity are perpendicular to each other, or force due to the spring or force due to the damper are 90 degrees with each other. Now coming to the acceleration. Acceleration is given by minus. Minus indicates what? 180 or opposite direction. So opposite direction. A sin omega t minus phi. A sin omega t minus phi indicates what? Same in this direction, but omega square is being added. So m omega square A, m omega square A, okay. But sine omega t minus phi, and here also displacement sine omega t minus phi remains the same. So they are parallel to each other, but opposite in direction. That is given by this minus sign. Okay, na? Here you can see the minus direction. Minus. Here plus. So they are parallel to each other. A sin omega t minus phi, A sin omega t minus phi, but in acceleration you see minus sign. They are parallel to each other but moving in opposite direction. That indicates the arrow in this direction for the displacement and arrow in this direction for the acceleration. But they are parallel to each other. But damping is making 90 degrees with the displacement. Okay, now what is this? This is the, I have to get the resultant now. Okay, now this will be the resultant impeded forces which I have to get. Okay, this is the diagram which you are supposed to check for. Okay, this is your force due to the displacement, force due to the velocity, force due to the acceleration, and the resultant force is this one. Now I have to get this resultant force. Okay, and that is given by substituting in mx double dot, where x double dot is minus a omega square sine omega t minus phi, plus cx dot, that is a omega sine pi by 2 plus omega t minus phi, plus kx, where x is a sine omega t minus phi, is equal to applied force F naught sine omega t. Here it is, you observe for k, you observe for this value. We will be discussing this. Now how to check, how to get this resultant value. Impeded forces I have to get, for which if I know this value and this value, a right angle triangle, I will be getting this value. Now what is this value? We know the damping force. They are parallel. Okay, damping force. And here what is this value? This value can be obtained by removing this spring, subtracting spring force minus inertia force. Spring force is this total length. Inertia force is d to o. Now CA minus DO gets me the value BA. Now when I get BA and I know BO, which is equal to damping force, now according to hypotenuse theorem, I will be getting this resultant force or impeded force. So same is being discussed here, where I need AB, where I need AB. Now AB is given by AC minus DO. AC minus this DO. AC minus DO, that is KA minus M omega square A. Okay, now what is this BO? BO is nothing but C omega A. C omega A. Now this is according to hypotenuse theorem. I will get this force F naught. F naught, that is given by what? Under root of AB square minus BO. That is AB square is nothing but Km minus M omega square A whole square plus C omega A whole square. And taking A common, I will be getting capital A under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. So the force F naught is given by capital A under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. So from here I am able to get this A value. See here, this A value I am getting, taking this component to other side. So capital A, amplitude of vibration I have got as capital A is equal to, you can observe here, F naught by under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. This is the amplitude. This is the important formula. It is easy to remember also, competitive exam point of view also it is important point. Where A is equal to F naught by under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. This can be easily remembered when you know the values, when you remember this diagram. Okay, na? Where it is Ka spring force, this is C omega A damping force, M omega square A inertia force, and from this right angle triangle the applied force F naught I will be getting, and from that I will be getting the amplitude. So it is a simple thing and mostly asked question in the competitive examination. No need to buttify it. If you remember the diagram you will be getting. That is amplitude is given by capital A is equal to F naught by under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. And from the same triangle, and from this same triangle, I will be getting the phi value. Here you can see here the force applied F naught is making an angle phi with the displacement. This is called as a phase difference. That is means what, force is applied in one direction and the displacement is going in other direction, and that phase difference is given by tan phi is equal to, from that same triangle, tan phi is equal to C omega by K minus M omega square. Substituting, taking some trigonometry, tan phi value I will be getting C omega by K minus M omega square, or phi is equal to tan inverse C omega by K minus M omega square. This is phase lag or phase difference between the displacement and the force applied. This point is also being asked repeatedly in competitive exam. And substituting these values of A and also this A value in the xp, that is a particular function that we have seen, particular integral and complementary function. In this particular integral, xp is equal to A sin omega t minus phi. So that substituting that value, what I get in the place of capital, what is the equation? Xp is equal to capital A sin omega t minus phi. What is capital A here? F naught by under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. Substituting, I will be getting xp value. Xp value is F naught into sin omega t minus phi by under root K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. So total displacement I have got as x is equal to Cf plus Pi, where Cf is the complementary function which diminishes by time, given by capital X e to the power of minus zeta omega n t, where omega n is natural frequency, sin omega d t plus phi 1, where omega d is frequency due to damping, plus particular integral is given by What is particular integral? Xp. Xp we have got f naught into sine omega t minus phi. This value I will be again substituting here. Okay. Into sine omega t minus phi. Now you understand this point. It diminishes. So initially it will be there. The vibrations or amplitude will be due to this one, but it diminishes by time. Just as kick rod మీద మనం force apply చేసినప్పుడు it is for some time only due to the force applied on the kick rod to start the engine, after which I won't be applying that, so it diminishes, this value diminishes. What will be left is, if not this value, particular integral will be only left, yeah, and we'll be concentrating on that value only, because regular forces, regular or periodic forces are being coming into picture, and those periodic force, for example, taking as the IC engine due to the combustion taking place in the engine, and it is a steady state vibration. It is a steady state vibration. We call it is a steady state vibration because it is a regularly periodically applied. Okay. Now this will, when it diminishes, what I get is this vibration only. So the this one complementary equation is this diagram. The vibration, it is diminishing, and due to this particular integral, you observe it is in this way. Okay. Applied force is F naught pi under root k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega whole square into sine omega t minus phi. Okay, na? This is your capital A. Taking this as capital A into sine omega t, I will be getting this sine curve. That equation indicates this sine curve, particular integral equation. Now, when I am combining these both, now what I get? Both due to initial force applied, there will be some disturbances initially, after which they diminish as it is being diminished. So finally I will be getting again this sine curve only. Initially this disturbance is due to this complementary function or this initial force applied. But this is particular steady state vibration. Initially I won't be getting this steady state, but as when this complementary function diminishes, I get a steady state equation. So this is to be observed. Hence, this part is general, this initial part due to the external, initially applied external force is transient vibrations. The second part, this second part, that is particular integral is seen to be sinusoidal vibration with constant amplitude, and it is known as steady state vibration or steady state response. After the transient vibration dies out or diminishes, the complete solution consists of steady state only. So my concentration will be only on the steady state. That is, amplitude is given by F naught by, quick review, F naught by under root k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega whole square, which can be again be written as dividing numerator and denominator by k stiffness F naught by k by under root, I will be getting 1 minus m omega square by k whole square plus c omega by k whole square. Again further, it can be same amplitude can be written by F naught by k. You should remember this one, F naught by k by under root 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. This is the equation which you should observe for. This is the equation which you are supposed to observe for capital A is equal to F naught by K by under root 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square, where omega n is natural frequency and omega d is frequency due to damping, and here you are observing this omega. This is the frequency due to the external force applied, and phase lag is given by tan phi is equal to c omega by k minus m omega square, and this can be again be written as tan inverse 2 zeta omega by omega n by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. This is the phase lag formula. This is also been asked number of times, but they will be asking with regard with the relation between omega by omega n value and also this zeta value, and also with the zeta value which is c by cc. Okay, and this formula also you should remember, which is useful to get the magnification factor వచ్చినప్పుడు దీన్ని మనం దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా? Now this displacement, actually applied force is what? F naught. Applied force on the connecting rod is F naught, but when it is being resolved, what I am getting? F naught sin omega t. Now due to this what I am getting the amplitude as F naught by k under root 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. But if it is being applied directly, this F naught force, that is when the angle is 0, what I get is F naught force only. So we'll be discussing this equation when we discuss about magnification factor. So phase lag also you can see here. Now when zeta is equal to 0, that is when there is no damping. When zeta is equal to 0 means there is no damping, then the amplitude when zeta is equal to 0, you substitute here zeta is equal to 0, this total becomes 0, you are left over with F naught by k by under root here whole square under root gets cancelled, 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. And now when you say there is resonance, when does the resonance occur? When natural frequency is equal to the applied force frequency. So omega by omega n are same, then I will be getting one value. 1 square means 1, 1 minus 1 0. The amplitude will be infinity, because 1 minus 1 denominator is 0, the amplitude becomes infinity. So and when there is no damping, that is zeta is not there, I will be getting the, and when omega by omega n are same, I will be getting maximum amplitude. But practically it is not possible, because there will be some damping, if not externally, internally between the molecules there will be damping. So there does not exist a amplitude with maximum, with infinite displacement. So we can't practically see that component where the amplitude is infinite, which is possible when only zeta is 0 and when omega is equal to omega n. Of course omega may be equal to omega n, but zeta can't be equal to 0 practically, because there will be some internal resistance forces between the molecules in the component or due to the external forces on the component. Coming to resonance, when zeta is not equal to 0, omega is equal to omega n, what I get is here omega by omega n is same. So 1 minus 1 0. So here omega by omega n also 1, 2 zeta whole square under root is there. So 2 zeta only left. So to F naught by K 2 zeta. This is also to be observed. Okay. This component is also to be observed. And this component when zeta is equal to 0, that is no damping is there. When resonance is there, this one. And angular velocity when resonance takes place is nothing but omega n, which we know under root k by m. Now coming to the tan phi value, 2 zeta omega by omega n by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square is equal to 0. When zeta is equal to 0, substituting zeta, that is no damping, tan phi is equal to 0. Damping 0 ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, two parallel lines, acceleration line and displacement line మధ్యలో gap ఏం ఉండదు, they come together. So it is possible when they are parallel, they may be in parallel but in opposite direction or in the same direction. But in opposite direction means what? The phase difference will be 180. In the same direction, the phase difference will be 0. When it is 180 degrees, the frequency due to the external force is greater than natural frequency. Then the phase difference will be 180 and phase difference is 0 when natural frequency is greater than applied force frequency. This is also to be observed. The complete solution for undamped force vibration can further be simplified as x is equal to capital X sin omega nt plus phi, that is complementary function Cf plus particular integral f naught by k by 1 minus omega by omega n square sin omega t. Okay, this is the formulas which you are supposed to observe for whatever I have highlighted and shown, highlighting in this way, like this. Okay. This is by graphical method. Differential equation method is also there. You will be getting the same. Now coming to steady state vibration. Steady state vibration is due to the periodic force applied on the system. For all the systems subjected to harmonic excitation, that is periodic force, the transient vibrations die out within a short time, leaving only steady state vibrations, which will be steady. రెగ్యులర్ ఇంటర్వెల్స్ లో మనకు ఫోర్స్ వస్తుంది, హార్మోనిక్ ఫోర్స్ కాబట్టి స్టడీ స్టేట్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ అని అనుకుంటాం. వేరే యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ ఆఫ్ స్టడీ స్టేట్ ఇస్ గివెన్ బై క్యాపిటల్ ఏ, phase lag is given by phi, magnification factor mf. Now magnification factor, dynamic magnifier, it is defined as the ratio of amplitude of steady state response to zero frequency deflection. Okay, now zero frequency deflection is static deflection under action of static force F naught. Okay, na? So magnification factor is given by A, capital A, which we got as F naught by K by under root 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square by static deflection is given by F naught by K. Okay, na? Generally, when force and displacement, when the force applied is F naught, when it is being resolved, again we will be getting this amplitude. Okay, but if directly F naught is applied, okay, static deflection means again just I am applying this F naught on the system and displacing it. What I get? The displacement x naught is equal to F naught by K. This is static, but here periodically applied. The numerator law, you can see the periodically applied. The amplitude due to periodically applied force is given by above 1. But this one is due to static deflection, once displaced and left. So that is the static deflection F naught by K, and periodically applied, then amplitude is given by this one. So clearly we can see F naught by K gets cancelled. So I will be left over with this portion only, that is 1 by under root 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. Okay, this is a magnification factor. So magnification factor is the ratio of amplitude of steady state response. Means what? Due to periodically applied force to zero frequency deflection. That is due to static deflection. The ratio of periodically applied force by static force applied. Okay, na? And their deflections is given by magnification factor. So when compared with static deflection, how is the deflection due to the periodically force applied, if same F naught on the system. F naught is the force applied and removed. Again I am not applying, the deflection is X naught. But F naught is again the same force, F naught is being applied, but applied periodically also. Then I will be getting the deflection capital A. And the ratio when applied periodically by initially applied force F naught is given by as a magnification factor. And magnification factor is a dimensionless one. And observe for these two graphs magnification factor. How is it magnification factor with respect to the ratio of the frequency by natural frequency. Here you have seen this is the important formula, magnification factor A by A naught. Okay, A by A naught is equal to A by X naught. Magnification by factor capital A by X naught is equal to 1 by under root 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. So in this what we observe for here, what is the value omega by omega n? Okay, na? Omega by omega n versus magnification factor. Okay, na? Now magnification factor when there is resonance, that means what? Omega by omega n is equal to 1. Omega by omega n is equal to 1 అయినప్పుడు how is the magnification factor? Now due to the resonance, that is when omega by omega n is equal to 1, magnification factor when there is no damping, that is zeta is equal to 0, magnification factor will be infinite. So substitute here omega by omega n is equal to 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Here damping zeta is equal to 0. What you will be left with? Magnification factor is equal to 1 by 0. So magnification factor will be obviously infinite. So it will be going up parallelly. And now when there is some damping is coming, that is friction is there. So zeta is equal to for 0.1, zeta is equal to 0.125, zeta is equal to 0.2. For this at resonance you can observe this magnification factors. Okay, na? These magnification factors at resonance, these are at resonance I am getting more magnification, means more amplitude, how much it is being magnified. Okay, na? Now initially due to resonance it is magnified maximum, after which from after 1 I'll be getting less amplitudes. Okay, so they will be coming down. Okay, as the omega value increases or frequency due to external force increases, that is numerator omega value is increasing when compared with the denominator natural frequency, then the magnification factor is reducing, that is amplitude will be reduced. That you can see from this graph. Similarly, phase difference that is phase difference or phase angle versus frequency ratio omega by omega n. This also can be seen here, these values. This is with respect to, we know the tan phi value. Tan phi value we have got here. Tan phi is equal to this value, you note down. Tan phi value is equal to 2 zeta omega by omega n by 1 minus omega by omega n square. If you observe these values, omega by omega n versus phi, what will be the value? Our study, when tan phi, in which phi versus omega by omega n is observed. When damping is there, that is zeta is equal to 0. Damping is 0. There is no damping. Zeta is equal to 0. And when resonance is there, and when resonance is there, okay, see for the graph, okay, it will be straight here, zeta is equal to 0. And when there is damping little bit 0.1, the graph will be going here, but it will be when omega value increases, okay, whatever here down is there, it will be going up. Whatever here up portion లో ఉన్నదైతే అది ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి ఆఫ్టర్ coming down. Okay, you have to observe for this. So, and when you have to check for when omega by omega n is under root 2 also, you have to check for omega by omega n is under root 2. You apply for that value and you will be getting an interesting point. We will be discussing again that. Check for the value omega by omega n is equal to under root 2. So check for these discussions. And this is the magnification factor. Now coming to transmissibility. You apply the same given formulas. Logarithmic decrement use చేస్తూ, and we have got these formulas here. Here logarithmic decrement వాడుతూ, and natural frequency with damping frequency is relation is there, and maximum amplitude capital A is given by this due to the external force. Substituting will be getting the plus direct problems మీరు ఈజీగా అర్థం చేసుకోవచ్చు. Now coming to transmissibility. Now vibration isolation and transmissibility. Now this system is connected to a foundation. Okay, na? When there is some vibrations due to the external force F naught sin omega t, and this spring will be taking some forces, and this dashpot will be taking, and how much amount of the force is being transmitted to the foundation is also to be observed. So this is known as the transmissibility. We'll be seeing the same.